Roleplay Retcon does not own any part of the shitty movies we retcon, nor are we associated in any way with the artists who made them. Also, while we're not the rowdiest bunch of hooligans, we are grown-ass adults goofing off, so we may say some things people wouldn't want their kids to hear. Thanks and enjoy. Hey guys, hey!
Welcome to Roleplay Retcon Writer's Room. This is a little different from yeah. Hey, welcome, Jency. Welcome, Alex.
No, I won't be welcome.
And welcome our friend Stacey.
Hello,
who is
welcome, Stacey.
A scholar of the movie we're doing today, which we'll get to in a second. Let me explain what Writer's Room is. Writer's Room, yeah, boy howdy. Writer's Room is a little different from a normal shtick. Instead of spending a long time...
It's purple instead of brown.
Yeah. Is that our feel? Do we normally have a brown feel, but these are the purple episodes?
No, a brown stick.
Yes.
I said
Sticks are usually brown.
Stick. I said stick, not stick.
That's the joke.
Shtick.
Okay. Thank you for explaining the joke to me.
You're welcome.
Okay, anyway. Normally, if this is your first episode, what we normally do is we make mini-series.
If this is your first episode, please stop and go listen to a good episode.
Like literally.
God.
I don't know, the episode might be good.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not our fault. We didn't make this thing. But anyway, what we normally do is we spend we spend a long time making movies into mini-series over several episodes. And we play characters, and we inject some action and adventure into it. We're not going to do that here. This is a one-off episode where we just sort of have a roundtable discussion on how we could improve this movie. Although I don't know how we're going to do it this time. But we are going to talk about this movie. And this movie is... You know what, Stacey? Why don't you introduce yourself and this movie?
Hi guys, I'm Stacey.
Hey, Stacey.
Movie. It's a train wreck. It's Showgirls.
Showgirls.
Oh, Showgirls.
Well, Stacey, tell us a little bit about you've worked in the industry for some. Tell us about your background a little bit.
It's probably why I like Showgirls.
Yeah.
I've actually worked for live events for Troma Entertainment. They did Toxic Avenger, Sergeant Kabuki Man, and also they just released Shitstorm. It is Tempest, but Lloyd's versions. So it's going to be a hot mess, and I love it.
It actually does sound super fucking good.
Oh, just wait.
But, okay. So, a couple of things that are different about this, even different about this episode of Writer's Room. Three of us are around one mic, which never happens, and Jency is coming in remote.
Yes.
So, won't be able to edit this one, so you're going to get lots of natural coughs and sneezes and stuff. Enjoy.
But not from Ben. He has promised not to cough.
That's right.
If he coughs,
I didn't
we
promise
get to make fun of
anything.
him.
I was forbidden from it.
Well.
And I couldn't fight it.
And you never will.
Even over
And the second one is we usually have a watch party with fans. So we did not do it with this movie because boy howdy.
Howdy, boy.
The third way that this is a little different is we usually end the episode with some suggestions from our audience about how they would fix this movie.
How they would personally retcon it.
Retcon it, yeah. I think we should start with those. Usually at the end, but I think we should start with those because I think most of them have really hit the nail on the head about the one major way to improve this movie. And I want to start with the one from the infamous Eel on Twitter. He says, "Look, it's not a good movie by any stretch, but it's one of the few perfect bad movies. Why mess with it? You want suggestions for retconning it? Whatever you do, go to 11. Just way over the top. Nomi is an amnesiac assassin. Zack is secretly a cyborg. IDK. Weird shit."
Thank you for your input, the infamous Eel. That might perhaps improve it.
That would explain his haircut.
Druid Circle on Twitter says, wouldn't do anything. It needs to be what it is. Which is also, like, echoed by our friend Emily.
No, I get this one.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Jinsey, you need to read Emily's.
So, Emily is my very best friend in the whole world, except for, obviously, my other best friends, who will not be named currently because we're talking about Emily. But she is one of my best friends. Emily said, and Emily, you're going to listen to this episode. Don't watch this movie again. Just don't. Okay, so Emily says, this is a perfect film and I will accept no criticism of it. Okay, actually, I haven't seen it since I watched, like, an R-rated cut at age 17. So since I have not seen it in 10 years and just remembered it being hilarious, I want to publicly disavow Czech's release date, the almost definitely problematic treatment of gender and race. Yeah, Emily, since you haven't seen it in 10 years, I don't know what 17-year-old Emily was like. I actually do know what 17-year-old Emily was like, and I am appalled. I am appalled, Emily. Don't rewatch this, but I am appalled that you think this way. That is all.
I want to see this R cut.
It's out there.
Is it the VHS one?
Apparently, the R cut only cuts like 3 minutes from it. I looked it up, and I don't know what 3 minutes it cut, but it's barely different, apparently.
Danny Harrell says, needed more kung fu, which kind of feels like, yeah, more cranking up to 11. And then, Alex, read this last one.
This one comes from Ethan Taylor. This movie is like if someone who didn't know anything about characters or movies decided to make a mashup of Midnight Cowboy and Kill Bill, and they replaced all their incompetence with nudity. And I 100% agree with that.
Do we save the one from...
Oh, and the last one.
From Jeanette, or do we need to, like, wait until that comes up in its moment in time? Or do you want to go and read it?
I mean, let's read it now.
Okay, and then
we'll explain it later.
Yeah.
This one comes from my wife, Jeanette, and she just wants us to show me the bread.
We all
Thank you,
want
Jeanette.
this, by the way.
Yes.
It was not just Jeanette.
It's unanimous.
It was-
I wasn't even in the same room as them, and I can confirm that I also wanted to be shown the bread.
That's right.
Because afterward, I was like, I didn't even get to see that.
This is not gross code for something, by the way. It was literal bread.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Those of you that know.
You know.
If you know, you know. Okay, let's move into our actual, like... Oh, fuck, I've left my notes in the other room. I'm going to run and get my notes. You guys start talking about Showgirls.
So, Showgirls is a movie
Yep.
that is about a lady whose name is Nomi.
Yes.
Not even a real name like Naomi.
My mother was Italian, she says.
Who starts off the movie by hitchhiking to Las Vegas.
Do we have to give a play-by-play?
I'm not going to
Look,
give a play-by-play. I'm just the start of it, and then
That's the other thing is we just watched this movie.
that is true.
Like moments ago. Usually we watch it, we let it simmer a little while. So Jinxie's like, I just sat through this, Alex.
Go ahead, Jency. Give us your abridged version.
so it's like 2.5 hours long, and it feels more like 18 3/4 hours long. The whole time I was like, is it over? I don't want to watch it anymore. I'm so tired of this movie. This movie is the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm so sorry, Stacey. I love you and I value your opinion and I appreciate that you like this movie, and I don't mean to, by expressing my opinions of how much I hate it, I don't mean to belittle yours. Your opinions are valid, but I personally, I just, God, y'all, I really, really hated this movie. That's it. That's what it's about. It's about Jinsey watching this movie and hating it.
I love car crashes. It's okay.
Okay.
That is okay. I do feel like. Wait, tell us why you love this movie.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, answer this question first. And answer this question objectively. Yes or no only. Is Showgirls a good movie?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Why?
It tries so hard.
Yeah.
It wants to be this epic adventure. It just isn't, though. It should be. It has all the components. It just doesn't make it good.
Can I read a quote. This is by a BuzzFeed writer, and he was reviewing a movie called Holidates, and I can't remember the guy's name because of the screenshot. It's just his Twitter handle, but it's @Element88. And he says, there is a delicate art to the good bad movie, GBM. A GBM is endearing because despite the bad writing, the puzzling directing, the comically bad acting, it's brimming with effort. Earnestness abounds. Over-the-top sincerity is the engine of the GBM. We, the viewers, can't believe just how committed people are to the corny thing they're making. A GBM should make you shout, "Oh, so we really doing this, huh?" at least once every 10 minutes. And like, damn if the epitome of this movie is not, "Oh, so we're doing this now, huh?"
That's it.
This movie is definitely very into itself. And, I don't know.
So like some background on this. This is a Paul Verhoeven movie. Mm-hmm. And earlier, while I was in Alex's kitchen, I said, well, there's no such thing as a good Paul Verhoeven movie, right? And then I got like shouted down pretty bad about that.
Yes.
Because to be fair, I was only thinking of Starship Troopers, and
which is a good movie.
It's neither a good movie nor a good book.
It is.
And that's right.
I don't know anything about the book. I just know the movie is great.
The movie actually tries to improve on the book and may do it. Because the book has almost no plot.
It's got NPH.
But like...
Yeah.
But you were... what were you saying like about the pedigree of this movie?
So, this script was one of the highest selling scripts of the time. Like, the cinematographer worked on Goodfellas. Like, in every effort, this movie would win so many awards. So many awards. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like, honestly, the production quality, like, from a purely production standpoint, pretty good. But, I don't know, man. For one thing, there's so many characters in this movie, it's so hard for me to keep up with them. Who's the black guy? What was that dude's name?
James.
Sorry, I don't remember anybody's name except for Nomi. But like, his plot was like not important to the movie, right? He just had his own little movie going on over there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably would have been a more interesting movie.
Maybe. I
mean, we've seen that movie. We've seen, like, the agent taking advantage of girls.
Right.
We haven't seen it from the girl's perspective.
Right.
So his story's going on while this one's going on.
I think they were trying to... I think his deal was supposed to be that, like, there's good and bad in everyone. And, like... Which was, like, completely contrary to the, like, rest of the movie. Which the rest of the movie is, like, people are monsters. Bad. Yeah, people are monsters.
Yeah, okay.
At least in Las Vegas.
All right. So my takeaway is that, and this is the whole entire time, I stand by this. Nothing in this movie makes any goddamn sense. Really. No one has any actual motivations. No one does anything, like, for any reason that makes any sense. And so, therefore, everyone is acting perfectly because everything they do is on brand for them. Because it's like, why did they do that? Well, if they started doing stuff that made sense, then it would be against their character, right? Because nothing they do makes sense. So they're supposed to do stuff that doesn't make sense, is what my takeaway was. So even though nothing he did made any goddamn sense, I was like, okay, well, it's not supposed to. That's just his character. That's just literally everyone's character.
Nomi, this whole movie is things happening to Nomi that Nomi had no direct involvement in happening to her until about third act when she pushes that lady down the stairs. That's like the first thing she does in the movie. And then her resisting the things happening to her.
Except for be a horrible person.
Yeah.
Naomi has...
It's Nomi. It's not Naomi like it should be.
Forgive me. I thought she had a real name. Nomi has two modes in this movie. And it's confusion and overreaction.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
all Nomi does.
Yep. And sometimes I'm like, why is she being extra horribly dramatic and mean and vicious and disgusting here? Oh, wait, because nothing she does makes any sense. So that's what she's supposed to do.
Different places.
Yeah, different places. There's so many wild lines in this movie. What did he say? He said that in America, everyone is a gynecologist.
Ugh.
This movie is so obsessed with boobs.
Oh my god.
Like, in a way that people who are fans of boobs are not even, like, into it.
I think this movie may have ruined nipples for me.
Yeah. This movie has ruined all of that.
Sometimes they just painted the nipples for no reason.
Why were they so red at the end?
I don't know.
They did look like
I need to stop
pepperonis.
shouting.
You do need to stop shouting. You're blowing up the waveform.
Whew.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Every woman in this movie, though, is like they're very pretty. They're very pretty women, even though the movie tries to make them gross and weird looking. Especially White Dreads lady.
Yeah.
But every dude in this movie is so ugly. And, like, I can't decide if that's a commentary or just an accident. Like, even Kyle MacLachlan, who's usually, like, kind of handsome in a, like, Dick Van Dyke kind of way, you know? But, like, his goddamn hair in this movie. Get out of your eyes!
About halfway through it, he reminded me very hard of Tobey Maguire from the end of Spider-Man 3.
I can see that.
And I was like, it's just the whole movie of that.
Also, there wasn't a single schlong in this movie.
Yeah.
We said that!
Yes.
Not one schlong.
No,
No
not a
penises.
single
Okay.
dingle.
To explain, because of technical difficulties, Alex and me and Stacey watched the movie on together, and then Jinsey watched it separately somewhere else, and we kind of communicate a little bit. But, like, I think at one point we were like, this movie, it's so weird that that's the line, right? Like, why is that
Yeah.
their line of morality that they don't show penises?
I even, like, I turned to, Ethan was watching it with me, and I was like, man, you get to see schlong in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but you don't see it in Showgirls? What is up with that?
But I
Right.
think that's the first time I've seen like a schlong in a theater. Like it's always like Spartacus.
I've seen several.
Where?
Waiting. I saw one in
Technically,
the Simpsons
Watchmen.
movie.
Oh yeah, Watchmen. I blanked at that.
Watchmen.
Watchmen kind of downplays it a little bit, but it is there.
No, they put
It
blue
is
fucking
there.
neon light on it.
Maybe I was just desensitized, like the titties.
I'm definitely
No,
desensitized to nudity.
I'm
now.
not defending it.
Yeah.
There usually are very little penises in Borat had another one. And Walk Hard.
Oh, the mockumentary,
Walk Hard.
the mockumentary that Lonely Island did. The mockumentary.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, it's so good, but there's a part where he thinks he's signing a boob, and it's actually like a dick, and it's just like right there, and he is just like signing his name on that penis. It's a funny ass movie.
That's great. But yeah, I'm not defending that these are like small pockets in a vast ocean of no penises.
And they're all comedies.
Yeah, they're all comedies. Which this could not be described as that at all.
It's a tragedy.
It is a tragedy.
Is this the worst movie we've done for a writer's room?
I will say that I have been more uncomfortable watching this movie than any other movie we've watched.
I think that's part of it. Is the other ones were at least like entertaining to some degree, and this was okay. I think this movie was trying to make this like commentary on like and like try to be a hero and like call out the toxic environment in the entertainment industry, but it really just ends up being like super cynical, like to a point that it's like upsetting to me. And like, if you want to do that, just make a documentary. Stacey, I love you. Like 90% of your contribution to this is just laughing at us, like being upset about this movie.
Yep. I said I liked a train wreck, and I likes a train wreck.
Wrecks and trains. Trains and wrecks.
Yep.
The bread. We have to talk about the bread.
We do have to talk about bread.
Go ahead.
There's a scene about halfway through where Nomi
Good job.
and what's her name?
Crystal. Or just
Yes.
Crystal,
Her
perhaps?
name's
I don't
just
know why I
Crystal.
had put so much mustard on it, but...
Because they
should've-
keep making a list.
Because they could have possibly put mustard on this bread, but we'll never know.
Right.
So they're in it's like a fancy mall,
It's called the Four.
the Forum. I've never been to Vegas, so I have no idea.
I've only been one.
They're in the fancy mall at a very fancy restaurant, and the waiter brings out, and you only get like a small, real fast shot of this bowl that's got a gigantic tortilla chip just like sticking out of it, like vertically. And the rest of the scene, it just focuses on their faces. But sure, this is a movie. You want to focus on the actresses, but I want to see that bread. What's in that bowl?
What was... And, like, Jeanette just screamed, "Show me the bread." And
Show
then
me the
eventually we joined in because... Show me the bread, show me the bread.
Yes.
Hashtag show me the bread.
Hashtag show me that bread.
Although they were probably crackers.
I mean, it was probably some sort of large tortilla chip or something.
Because they did.
They did
Clink.
do the clink of the chips and the chips.
It was like
break.
flat bread or something. I don't know.
But yeah. I wonder what that bread is, though.
I mean, we are obsessed.
Dude, I asked this during the movie. Do Vegas showgirls have this level of celebrity? Like those, like, Texas foghorn leghorn motherfuckers show up in the Forum and, like, ask Crystal for her autograph like they know her in Texas. I guess she's from Texas, but...
Yeah.
She is.
I mean,
I don't
yeah,
know
I
any
mean,
showgirls.
From
by
what I
name.
remember, especially in big Vegas shows, they have stars. And sure, I mean, they're not going to be known like a Brad Pitt or a Naomi Watts, what have you. But they have fans.
We need to talk about the butts in this movie.
Okay, do we?
I don't know.
Ben just wants to talk about Kyle MacLachlan's butt.
But is it Kyle MacLachlan's butt, or was it a butt double? How many people have butt doubles?
At
I'm looking
least
it up.
2.
Oh, body
You think
double.
Is that
It was a body double?
Body double.
nice?
Oh my god.
Does that make you sad? That-
No, because I'm thinking about that scene now.
And how we don't get to see the front of him?
Not that, just the pool sex scene, which
Oh
is
my
the
God.
worst goddamn thing I've ever seen. except it was really funny, at least, so I actually enjoyed that part of the movie because it was friggin' like it would have been great in a comedy.
Do you like
I
pool
was
sex?
guffawing.
Do you like being waterboarded during pool sex? Because yeah,
I said during that part, I was like, this whole movie was written by virgins who have no idea what sex is.
Yep. Yep, and they just wanted to see boobies.
there's
So
boobies.
many.
What if we made a movie where we just got to see boobies the whole time?
Did the guy who wrote The Big Bang Theory make this? Like... God. And, like he does it the same way both times, right? Like, that... I thought at first, like, the weird private room stripper, like, dry humping thing, I was like, oh, I guess that's just how people dry hump or something. But nope, that's just how Kyle MacLachlan's character does it every time. That's what the ladies like. Lots of weird grimacing and a rhythmic saxophones during your lovemaking.
Yeah, the weird saxophone. I was like, what is happening here?
The best part is the saxophone, like, lost the rhythm, right?
Yeah.
That's just the sound her vagina makes.
Oh my.
It goes
Well.
toot.
All right, what do we have to talk about next?
I can't. The monkeys. we were like predicting how the monkey thing was gonna like come up in the plot. They were like, "Oh, hey, there's poop on the stage." We were like, "Well, we know who's gonna step in that poop," and she did not step in that poop.
Yeah,
Now,
They did not fire Chekhov's poop.
She did slip during the thing.
Oh,
But
She did.
it's never like it's all insinuated. Like maybe she slipped on monkey poop. But when she goes out for her first performance, she slips, but then she keeps going.
is that foreshadowing to the beads or something? Like, hey man, sometimes there's stuff on stage and
Sometimes there's
people
stuff
get
on
hurt.
stage. Sometimes there's poop.
Why didn't the lady just throw monkey poop down then instead of those beads?
She had beads. She probably didn't have the monkey poop.
So why were the monkeys even in the movie?
Because they were on
They
the
just
show
wanted
beforehand.
monkeys.
Yeah.
Have you never?
Have
So-
you never seen monkeys?
So those pet shows are really, really popular in the.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Jesus, man.
Jesus.
No,
Yeah.
I'm with you. The monkeys didn't.
They
Well,
did
I
not
can't
pay
say like there's so much in this movie that didn't add anything. I did
Yeah.
say every time she ate a burger, it looked great, and I want to know where those burgers are.
When she's like sitting on top of the car, on top of the building,
Yeah.
looking down at Las Vegas all moodily, and she's just eating that gigantic burger.
Gigantic burger. It looks
It was a good-looking
delicious, and
burger.
it makes a weird crunching sound when she eats it.
That's probably the vegetables and the brown rice.
Yeah, the vegetables and brown rice. Yeah.
But she eats burgers like she's never had a meal. Like, oh yes.
I don't know. Maybe food's hard to. It's been hard to come by. She's had a rough time with it.
No, when
Like the
she was in the
chips?
car with James, when she
Yes.
was in the car with James, she threw her burger wrapper
We said that. See, I was.
and she threw her whole burger. She ate like 2 bites out of that thing before she threw it.
Ben was in the middle of this speech like, no, I like this Nobi lady. I like her style. And I'm
Ew.
like, she just lit her.
Okay. He's paraphrasing. What I said was,
Ben.
she's kind of a piece of shit, but I do find myself rooting for her. And then she littered, and I was like, oh, well, that's over then.
Yeah. God, I hated her so much. I hated her. I was like, why would they make the main character, the protagonist, the hero, just so unlikable?
But
I-
everyone's so drawn to her.
At first, I was like,
I
maybe
couldn't
this is
figure
like
it
a-
out.
Maybe this is like a commentary on like women have to be this way. That's the only way they could be safe. And then like I kind of dropped that about halfway through.
Yeah. Like, she kept being super mean to everyone, and everyone just, like, adored her. Like, Molly, there's no reason why Molly should have loved her that much. She was a horrible person.
Poor
Yeah,
Molly.
and Molly was definitely in love with her, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And they were just like, we're gonna punish you, likable character. That's like the worst writing thing, right? That's like so manipulative to just do bad things to a character to make the audience sad for no reason, right?
Molly was the only good character in this whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
She was good, and she was likable, and why? Just why?
Because she's trying to
Audience.
better herself.
Yeah.
She's
Audience.
going to college. She wants to do fashion.
Okay,
No, I mean, like, why did they abuse her like that?
yeah.
Audience, there's a scene in this movie that's very difficult to watch. And
Trigger warning for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only do they I don't know too much about Michael Bolton as a person. Maybe he does some weird things, but they have a stand-in that's like Michael Bolton that does some pretty rough things. And then this poor Molly lady. Oh my god, it's just the worst thing to put in a movie.
They do the
It's
worst
graphic.
thing to her.
And it's
Yes.
it almost has no resolution. Ben says that
It's definitely the impetus for her finally leaving Vegas, but there was no reason for them to have to like do it to that degree.
yeah.
There were so many things before that could have been the impetus.
But they
for her
didn't
leaving
need to
Vegas.
do that.
Basically,
It was
Nomi
unnecessarily
goes
graphic.
and kicks Michael Bolton's ass.
Andrew
Or-
Carver, I think.
Andrew Carver.
Yeah.
He kicks Andrew Carver's ass, who is this musician, maybe.
We're gonna call him
And-
Michael Moulton.
Michael Moulton. gets his ass kicked by Nomi.
Right.
And then that just makes everything okay.
Yeah.
Like, granted, Molly is still in the hospital.
Molly is still...
Now with medical bills.
With several medical bills. They allude that maybe those things will get paid for.
Mm-hmm.
She'll get a dress shop.
And she'll get a dress shop and everything will be super happy. But I think that's all bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, if they want this movie to be like grittily realistic, then that's not going to happen.
Ugh.
So that's kind of part of one of our... I think was my only retcon for this movie. The only thing I could possibly think of to make even one scene of this better. And it was... She should have killed that guy with her knife, right?
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, I really thought that she was going to. I was like, as soon as she started painting her nails, I was like, she is about to go on a murder spree. Because it's like, I mean, she's gotten booked, before.
Yeah, that was the whole... That was the whole point of that scene, right? That she has this criminal history anyway.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as she walked in there, I was like, she has got that switchblade in her skirt, and she's going to shank him. And she didn't kill him.
Nope.
So that's part of the crank it up to 11.
Yeah, she should have murdered him.
How would you have retconned it, Stacey? If you have anything.
Yes. Well, this movie is too big for just one movie. Either you make it a trilogy. Trilogy? I couldn't words.
You can't start.
I cannot. I'm the worst at that.
Or we make this a crazy documentary style, like, big mini series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this way we can flesh out our character. I want, more with James's story.
Definitely.
We need more with Henrietta, because I love Henrietta.
Yeah, that was the other good character, by the way.
Yes.
Which one was Henrietta? Is that a thing in strip clubs?
Okay.
Where
I got you.
where like this funny lady comes out and does like a tight five, and then they do the stripping? Like that's weird. Are there pre-shows in Vegas?
It was so weird. I did not understand any part of that. I was like, I like her, but I do not get this.
I guess that's what James was doing. He was doing a slightly sexy dance, and so she was doing a tight five with her boobs out a little bit with her funny dress, which was hilarious, by the way. Is that a thing? Maybe that's a thing in Vegas where everything's a show.
I don't know.
It feels more like this was written for a drag queen, but they wanted boobs still. So.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was the 90s, so a trans drag queen wouldn't have worked.
Right.
But yes, make them a drag queen.
They should have used
that would be the change.
Yeah, but we
especially since they kept calling her Henry.
Go up to 11. Yeah. Like why was this movie squeamish about anything and not squeamish about other things? Like if they're gonna do this movie that's supposed to like break all these boundaries, then break some fucking boundaries.
Right? Oh no, boobs.
Yeah. That's
breaking boundaries, right? No, we see boobs in literally every movie.
Right? Why couldn't they have women in the private room? That was weird.
So, because nothing in this movie makes any goddamn sense.
Right.
But I think it's really because she was specifically hating on that one woman.
Right.
I think that she was just like, I really hate this person, so I don't want her anywhere near me or something.
Yeah.
But she still has so much chemistry with her.
God, yeah. I didn't.
I don't know. I think Crystal had more chemistry with her than Nomi had with a cardboard box. Nomi had nothing in the way of personality.
She tried really, 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 really hard.
She was just, oh my gosh. You know what? She was full-on aggressive in literally everything she did.
Yep.
She was aggressive picking up her coat. She was aggressive biting the hamburger. She was aggressive in her dancing. She was just all the way aggressive all the time.
She had that fire.
I wouldn't have hated that if they had addressed it at all. If it had been like part of her character or part of the plot. If the movie had been like about fear, like, that she was afraid. It's about fear and about her like aggressive, visceral reaction to that and her just living in it all the time. if they addressed that as part of her character and that was part of her arc, that might have made sense. It was not. She was just belligerent for no reason.
Jinsey,
or because Vegas is terrifying, I guess.
I'm sorry, Alex, what?
Jinsey, did you have any retcons you'd like to run through on us?
I don't know. I don't know what would have made... I don't know, like, any one thing that would have made this better.
I think I'm with you there.
I just...
Personally.
Maybe just don't make it next time. Maybe make a different movie.
Well, there is a sequel, apparently.
Yeah, we just learned that there's a sequel from Stacey, and...
I didn't make it.
No, not that you made it.
Well, okay, but
we learned it from you.
There's also that movie called Striptease, right? And supposedly Striptease is a good movie.
Well, Striptease, if we're going to talk about Striptease, I've actually seen Striptease.
I've never seen it.
I think it used to come on Comedy Central.
Okay.
Yes.
But it's
more
more
a comedy?
It's more of a comedy.
Okay.
And it has a plot where this lady is a stripper and she has kids and she's just trying to raise her kids.
Yeah,
and then
basically.
Some dude kills people on a boat.
Oh.
I actually don't remember too much about it.
Turns out I actually can't give you a good synopsis of this movie.
But like,
apparently, Striptease came out exactly 1 year after Showgirls.
But yeah, like, she helps the police catch this dude, I think.
Oh, by stripping?
Oh, yeah.
See, something like that, yeah.
Well, see, that's a plot.
Yeah. Stacey, I'm so sorry we're being so rough to this movie.
Yes, I'm so sorry, Stacey.
It was funny.
You're valid.
It was pretty funny.
Yes.
At some points.
Well, at some points, and then it sort of ruins itself. That's why I feel like the R-rated cut might be better, because it would cut out, like the couple of parts that were very upsetting.
Wait.
Oh, you
so
guys,
what version
listen.
did we watch?
Oh, we watched the NC-17 version.
Yes.
Is that worse than R?
Oh, yeah, way
Yes.
worse.
Okay. Weird.
R means 17 probably shouldn't see it, but if you got someone that's over 17 with you, NC-17, you can't come in the theater unless you're 18 or older.
Rock and roll.
I thought it was 17 or older.
Well, that's okay, but it's actually age restricted much more solidly.
Yeah.
Cool beans. I learned something today.
So, I read that this movie is currently being viewed under the critical lens of satire.
Yes.
And
Okay.
that it was very serious satire. So, when I was watching it, I tried to view it as if it were satire, like really well done satire, but I just feel like they were just so serious about it.
The pool scene alone would convince me that maybe it was.
Oh my god. Right? But like they didn't come out like it wasn't marketed as satire, and
Right.
they weren't claiming it was satire, so I don't know that I don't think it was originally intended to be satire, but if it was satire, holy cow.
Satire of what, though? The
Movies
industry,
like that?
I guess.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
Okay. That being said, maybe this makes me gross, but I kind of want to go to one of those like really, really fancy shows now. You know, like one of these burlesque shows where they're all golden cave people and volcanoes are erupting and they're doing like very choreographed dancing. That looked like a lot of fun.
They looked horrible. I mean, the ones in this movie, I was like, I would not pay to see this. These are bad. But I would like to see a really well done one, I guess, as long as it wasn't bad. I don't know.
This did. I've always wanted to go to Vegas, and this movie like may have ruined it for me. I may never want to go now.
It's not just that.
It's not just that. It's not just. Although at the same time, it was also the best part of the movie. Like, you know, they film on location, so you got to see all this great Vegas backdrop.
Yeah.
The show itself, I can see being all right, but it has this thing over it that it's just, why does it need to be topless?
Yeah.
Like if it was,
It does seem pointless.
if it
doesn't
was these people and they were fully clothed, it'd almost be like ballet
Oh, yeah.
or something like that. But it's that
If the dancing
it's
were better.
mandatorily that they are topless, and people come to see them being topless. That's the problem. Like, I have no problem with nudity as is, but it's just that I don't know what I'm saying.
What's the point, though? You're right.
I
No, you're
understand.
right. There's a point to the dancing, and a point to the stage, and a point to the cool volcano blowing up. So why are they topless? What does that add to it?
Because they could
Just
easily,
boobs.
they could easily have just had like color coordinated pasties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they could have had pasties, but like, I don't know. It's weird for me.
I agree. It's like trying to make something sexual for no reason. And weirdly sexual, you know?
But maybe, I don't know, maybe sex art is a thing? I don't know. It wasn't
Sex art is definitely a thing.
it wasn't this movie.
But I guess here's what it is. It feels exploitative.
Yeah.
Is what
Yeah,
it feels
okay.
like.
Yeah.
That's
feels
probably my problem.
Well, and that's sort of the whole movie's point too, is that
Yeah.
this is an exploitative industry, and
Yeah.
which
At
is
one
a good point. It wasn't well made, but it's a good point.
So,
A modern day exploitation.
True.
So apparently, I found out that this movie flopped at the box office, but they did make a profit with home video sales.
How about
Yeah,
that?
Yes.
I did. I remember hearing that.
And I was just like,
What is its
I don't
Rotten
know.
Tomatoes? Are you looking at some of these stats right now? Do you know?
no. But
Okay.
I think it was 23%.
Okay, that sounds. I'm gonna look it up.
Which there have been
It
so
is.
much worse.
I did read somewhere
Oh,
that it
yeah.
is widely considered to be the worst movie ever made.
Really?
Yes,
I
I read
I don't
that.
know if I go there.
I wouldn't even go that far, honestly.
It is 23%. You had it right on the money. Good job.
Yo. I looked it up earlier.
Well, I mean, you remembered though. That's good.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, well, I guess thank you to our audience for doing most of the heavy lifting on the retcons this time. That's
Yeah,
it. That's
sorry.
it. Go hard. Show a penis.
Yes.
Show
yes.
penis.
Show a
Okay.
heart.
Yeah.
Dial it up.
I'm going to go back and say that would be my retcon.
Equality nudity. That's all we want.
Not
Yes.
just one penis. If we're going to show all of these bushes and all these boobs, show all of the penises, man.
Are you
I need to see.
1996?
I need to see at least as many penises as I see vaginas.
There were no bush though. It was all clean shaven.
No,
I feel like nobody
No,
had a landing
Nomi.
strip. Had a
Nomi
landing
was.
strip.
She was landscaped.
Yes.
She had a landing strip. There was bush. It was a little bit bush.
I don't like that
guess
this
I
is an
wasn't
argument
looking
we're
for
having on
I'm sorry.
on the podcast.
I'm sorry.
This podcast was great before this episode.
I'm
It was so-
sorry.
it was so good. I loved it. Now I can never be part of it again. I quit. I quit Roleplay Retcon.
You hush.
This was even my idea, and well, actually, it was Stacey's idea. A long time ago, when we were first putting this podcast together,
Stacey, watch out for that bus. It's coming right through.
Oh no!
we were like, "What movies should we
Yep.
do?" And Stacey was like, "Showgirls, Showgirls, 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 Showgirls," and you have to let me on it, and we did. At one point, we were gonna make. There was talk about making this a full series, by the way, that we were gonna
Oh my god.
And one day I just look at Alex and I go, "Can we?" And Alex goes, "I've not seen the movie, but I don't see how we could."
I tried, you guys. I looked up so many different play styles.
Aw.
There was no way.
Oh, there's an RPG we could use. That's not the issue.
Ew.
No.
Ugh.
You can always just use a soap opera one or something, but ugh. I'm glad we
No.
didn't. I'm so glad we didn't spend
Not
3
with
minutes
this-
doing this.
It would have been a long time of our lives dedicated to that.
And we've really bared our souls to each other, I feel like, in this podcast. Gotten real vulnerable with our characters. I could not interact with either of you in that capacity.
Honestly,
I get vulnerable with you. I can do that. Not this. Not doing it.
yeah, I'm kind of glad that I didn't watch this with you guys.
Yeah.
I was thinking it while I was watching it. I was like, man, this would be awkward sitting between Ben and Alex.
I feel like I got really desensitized to it after about half an hour. I just stopped seeing them.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like Stacey, you have anything else to say on this movie as our foremost scholar on it?
Stop.
I don't want that title. I am the harbinger of your doom.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's this be our most downloaded episode ever.
Oh my
Heck
god.
yes.
It's going to be.
They're going to demand the sequel.
Anyway,
Oh.
thank you to our audience for joining us. And thank you to
Yes,
Stacey
thank you.
for joining us for this crime,
Thank you, Stacey.
You're welcome.
the crime of the century. Stacey, you have anything you want to plug or anything?
If you want to hear me trash more movies, you can look me up at Drunk Geek Girl on all podcasters.
I had no idea.
It's editing right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll be out by the time.
Yeah.
But, that's awesome. This is like literally the first time. This is
Nice.
like my own personal announcement for your podcast, and I'm very excited for it.
Drunk Geek Girls.
Nice.
Drunk Geek Girl. Will you be drunk
Yeah.
on it?
Yay.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
Also, thanks to the Nerdsmith Network for having us.
That's right.
You can find all their cool
Yay.
podcasts and streams at nerdsmith.org.
I was going to say this is our first,
Nope.
but it won't be.
No, it won't.
Because we
Yeah.
got one more.
Because of our weird time traveling.
That's right.
There's actually two.
Ooh.
We'll have.
2, yeah.
Yeah, there's a
That was
finale
the
and a
sound of time
rehash. But, so
traveling.
we're recording this before we've done the break for the finale for Dungeons and Dragons and the rehash. We haven't done the rehash either. So this is technically the first time we were talking to Mike about being part of Nerdsmith, but the official announcement will happen actually in the finale episode. So
Yeah.
now you know how podcasts work. You're welcome.
Yo-ho! Behind the scenes magic for you there.
Actually, I'm pretty
Yes.
sure that this episode that we were recording right now comes out on February
Mm-hmm.
17th, which is my birthday.
Uh-huh.
Which is my birthday.
Waits.
Which is my birthday.
Waits.
What?
Happy birthday, Ben.
Thank you, Alex.
Happy birthday, Ben!
Happy birthday!
Well, Alex got there first.
I had
didn't
to, I had to shift through all the bait you were laying down.
Thanks. But that means the next episode is on March 3rd, and that's going to
I'm going to talk about this.
Yeah, well, I was gonna kind of segue into you talking about it, but yeah, go ahead. What happens on March 3rd?
Okay, well, March 3rd it's 3 days before my birthday.
Happy
that's
birthday,
true.
Jency.
Happy birthday,
Oh my
Jency.
God.
Yay!
It was
Happy
empty, don't
birthday,
worry.
me.
Jeez.
I knocked an empty cup over. I'm sorry, Alex.
You're a monster.
But anyway, March 3rd is when the rookie camp for our next series comes out, which is the series that I am running.
What is it? What is it?
Well, rookie camp, if you didn't know, Alex, is where we kind of set up our RPG system for the series that we're doing. And we all learn about it. I will already know about it, but I will teach you guys about it, and therefore the audience will also learn about it. The RPG system that we're using is going to be Cowboy World.
Ooh.
Cowboy World.
Cowboy World.
I can't think
and,
of any movies we could do for that.
well, I can think of
Every
I bet
cowboy
lots
movie
of cowboy
ever is like really good.
movies.
Incredible. I mean,
But our next series is The Dark Tower.
Yay!
Yes,
Which
I'm
the
very
movie,
excited about
the movie was very bad.
Yeah, the movie. That's why we're doing it. The movie.
Yeah.
Because we do movies here, not books.
We could do books.
Except that
One day
except
we'll
that
do
I
books.
have exclusively for both of my series done movies based on books so far. So that might be my shtick.
it's a weird trend.
Is it a purple
It is.
stick?
I should hope so.
Yeah.
But anywho, so yeah, we're doing the Dark Tower movie, and our guest player is Rev Deshane. That's the name he goes by.
Where's Rev Deshane from?
He is from. Well, he does a really cool podcast called The Crit Show.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think he's from Indiana, in
Yeah.
which he is on. He does PBS shows on Indiana, in Indiana.
On Indiana.
Yes,
About
in Indiana,
Indiana.
he does PBS shows.
About
How cool
Indiana,
is that?
even.
Yeah, he does
specifically.
it about Indiana. So he does it on Indiana, on the topic
He's
of Indiana.
Indiana Jones.
Fun fact.
He's Indiana Deshane.
Yeah.
I'm from Indiana.
Oh, you guys have that in common.
I always
Well,
forget
stuff in
that. I always
common.
forget that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my gosh, I wonder if he's also a Pisces. We need to get that info. Anyway, but yeah, I'm super excited
I'm not a
about that.
Pisces.
That's okay, Ben. We still like you.
I'm a cusper.
You
Like a cucumber?
Anyway.
Yeah. That's a cucumber.
But that's it. So join us next time. We're going to be learning all about Cowboy World, getting prepped for our Dark Tower series.
Yeah.
March 3rd.
Yay!
Be there or be a cowpoke. That's what cowboys say, right?
Yep.
Cowpokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say that. Say bye kisses, for God's sake.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
kisses.